Nanite foliage, Lumen improvements, more powerful path tracer, ODSC. These are just 4 of the many updates in the first major update of Unreal Engine 5 5.1. Hi everyone, my name is Hoj. In this video, we're gonna quickly go over the most important updates and new features of Unreal Engine 5.1. So without further ado, let's get into it. Lumen now supports the two-sided foliage shading model, which means higher quality foliage. Lumen's software ray tracing now samples the surface cache directly, which improves secondary bounces, reflections, and global illumination from small emissive surface elements. Enable high-quality translucency reflections from the post-process volume, and Lumen reflections will be a lot better. Lumen reflections now support single-layer water. And good news for those who work with in-camera VFX. Lumen and virtual shadows now have support for multiple viewports and can be used for IC VFX. Although you have to keep in mind that this feature is experimental right now. Nanite now supports materials using these options: two-sided, masked blend mode, world position offset, pixel depth offset. Its support for nanite foliage geometry has also improved. A new preserve area option for nanite static meshes has been added. It prevents foliage meshes from disappearing at far distances. Also, landscape grass meshes can now have nanite enabled. So we can now have nanite foliage in our projects without any issues. The path tracer continues to add support for more engine features. Exponential height fog and sky atmosphere are now supported. But keep in mind, volumetric fog should be enabled in the exponential height fog. Planar decals are supported now. Water geometry and single-layer water shading model are also supported. Reference motion blur option has been added to the movie render queue for more accurate motion blur. It has a higher performance cost, but you can achieve more smooth results. Multi-GPU rendering support has been added, but of course SLI is required. Support for these engine features has been added: sky atmosphere, stationary skylights, volumetric shadows, color translucent shadows from static lights, IES profiles for static lights, pearl light shadow casting flags. Denoiser results at low light levels has improved. The quality, performance, and GPU memory usage with the volumetric light map renderer has also improved. On-demand shader compilation or ODSC compiles only the shaders needed to render what is seen on a screen in the editor. But keep in mind that although it can reduce shader compilation for most working on large projects that regularly compile large numbers of shaders, it does not currently reduce the number of global shaders that are compiled during the initial startup of the editor. All I can say about it right now is that Strata is a new way of authoring materials. It has a more expressive and modular framework and can provide a greater range of surface appearances and a wider parameter space from which to work. It replaces shading models such as default lit and clear coat. The default warp extents have raised from 22 km to 88 million km, which is a huge upgrade and allows for much larger worlds to be created. Also, now we can have Nanite Landscape. Layer bars and key bars are basically ways to make the movement and scaling of multiple neighboring keyframes easier. There have been several improvements to how Movie Render Queue handles texture streaming. Texture streaming is still disabled by default, but can be enabled to save memory in large projects. New camera-related features have been added to the Movie Render Queue too. You can now render from multiple camera angles in the same shot by enabling render all cameras before running your MRQ job. Orthographic cameras are now also supported, but currently Path Tracer is the only supported render path for this option. The Cine Camera now has a pair camera custom near clipping plane. And we can also have anamorphic lens effects with it. This is before and this is after. Now before continuing with the list of the updates, I want to ask you to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot. Okay, this is a cool new feature. Headers now stack when you scroll up and down. And you can now have up to 4 instances of the outliner and customize each instance separately. The outliner and the reference viewer now support asset filtering. These filters behave the same as content browser filters. Searching and filtering assets in the content browser has some improvements too. The search bar shows a history of your most recent searches, and filters are displayed in a vertical column by default. You can toggle the legacy horizontal filter layout from the content browser's settings menu. The Light Mixer is a new editor window that displays all lights in the scene in a compact format for rapid inspection and editing, similar to how the Environment Light Mixer includes scene environment lighting components. UV Editor was introduced as experimental in 5, and now it has moved to beta in 5.1. Previously, it was accessible through a plugin. Now you can quickly access the editor in 3 ways. UV panel in modeling mode, right-click your mesh within your level, or right-click your mesh in the content browser. DataSmith Exporter plugin for 3ds Max has a lot of improvements. All DataSmith features are now in a new ribbon toolbar. The new plugin improves performance and provides several new features and improvements. You can now connect a 3ds Max project to an Unreal Engine project and sync them manually or automatically using the Direct Link Autosync feature. Support for V-Ray, Corona, Rail Clone, and Forest Pack has improved. It includes more supported V-Ray material parameters and proxy meshes, support for Corona PBR materials and proxy meshes, export improvements, and support for Rail Clone 5 and Forest Pack 7. There is a new Xref scene export toggle. You can access it from the new ribbon toolbar. Xref scenes are scenes loaded from an external 3ds Max file into your current file. You can now decide whether or not to export Xref scenes as well. DataSmith now supports more parameters for supported light types too, including Arnold lights, Corona Sun, V-Ray Sun. There are also improvements in DataSmith plugin for Revit, SketchUp, and SolidWorks. So that's it for this video. These are only some of the new features in 5.1. You can check out the full release page from the link in the description. I will try to go over the features one by one in separate videos. So make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss them. Thanks everyone so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I hope it's been helpful. If you have any questions, comments or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Now with all of that being said, I'll see you in the next one.